Sounds good.
Okay. Hadouken!
That's a wrong fighting game.
What's up, everybody? It's DM Brad here with the Spoiler Alert Network, and I am joined down here by Dirtsheet and over this way by Showtime. And today we are doing another hype train video for the Mortal Kombat movie, which is going to be releasing on April 23rd on HBO Max and in theaters, supposedly.
Allegedly.
So 2021 is actually shaping up to be the year of the nerds, it looks like, because we got WandaVision, we got Falcon the Winter Soldier, we got Loki coming up, we've got Spider-Man. Like, there's just so much stuff happening this year. And one of those things is the Mortal Kombat movie, which we are going to be getting excited about today. So I'm going to pass it off to these guys and let them talk about what they're most excited about. So first off, we're going to start with the king of the hype trains, Dirtsheet.
You son of a... I'm in. Okay, so whenever it comes to Mortal Kombat, I would say of the three of us, Showtime is probably actually the most knowledgeable or acclimatized. That's a fancy word. Like, he's been into the Mortal Kombat lore, games, mythos longer than anybody in this friend group. But he has helped me too. So my knowledge has grown. What I'm excited about for this film is probably the fact that the original movies came out in 1995 and 1997 when technology was just potatoes. So, like, the trailer looks so aesthetically pleasing. Technology has come so far that it can kind of do justice for this franchise, because I think the fight scenes, the choreography and the fight scenes look it looks like actual fight scenes, not flippy flues and, ballerina twirls. The movie has a budget, which means that characters that could be beneficial from CGI, like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, if Liu Kang's in it. I'm assuming he'll be in it.
I believe so.
So, characters that do a lot of like special moves and stuff like that, Noob Saibot, like, I think that CGI is going to do them justice and making it look presentable and cool, actually. Besides the visual effects and the budget that it has, I think the thing that I'm honestly most excited for is the gore factor, because Mortal Kombat has always just been a disgusting game. The brutalities, the fatalities, like in the trailer, I believe that Jax just gets his arms blown off in the trailer, right? Am I correct? Am I remembering that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So like that alone, like if that's, the trailer is almost rated R. So like that makes it seem like the movie is just going to be vomit inducing, and I love it. So, but anyways, that's just kind of what I'm excited about. Showtime, what have you got to talk about for the Mortal Kombat as our Mortal Kombat guru?
So what Dirtsheet here is excited about with the gore and the increased budget and the special effects and stuff, that's all going to be great. But what I'm looking forward to is the story that's going to be told. Because I don't understand, like, I've seen the trailer, but I haven't read up a whole bunch of information. So I don't know the plot of where this movie is going to go. I don't know what storylines they're going to focus on. I'm not so certain what characters are going to be showcased and who's going to take center stage in this movie. Like, based on the trailers, it looks like it's going to be a lot about Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Right? Would you guys agree?
Yeah. The worst bromance ever.
But a lot of the fact that Kung Lao is included makes me think that Kung Lao is going to have a big role. One of the big storylines over the entire course of Mortal Kombat has been Liu Kang and Kung Lao. So Kung Lao has just been considered to be one of the main characters in the Mortal Kombat franchise, although being like relatively underrated in the games. But like in the other adaptations and the spin-off games, like Kung Lao has been very important. So the fact
I didn't know that.
The fact that he was the last person announced to be cast, which he was announced just a couple weeks before filming wrapped up, and with him being announced so late, makes me wonder how big of a role he's going to have in the series, or in the movie, sorry. So that's what I'm excited for, is to see where the story is going to go. Which I guess if I were a real fan, I would already know what the story is going to be, but I love to go into movies and just not know what to expect at all.
Well, to be fair, the trailer is very, I don't want to say vague, but it's definitely very open-ended, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like, Jurassic World, where they put the entirety of the movie in the trailer. Like, it is definitely very open-ended as far as the route they could go and where they could pick up in the MK timeline, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's what I mean, I guess, is like the timeline of when this movie occurs. Because I don't look for it to be a direct sequel to Mortal Kombat, the original 2 movies that came out in 1995 and 1997. I don't look for this to be a third movie to pick up from Mortal Kombat Annihilation, where they had Shiva and Goro and Shao Kahn and dragons and clay models and Raiden, played by whoever the played him that wasn't in the first movie, and all that I don't look for this to be a completely original story, but I don't look for it to be a sequel to the first 2 movies.
So like a soft reboot is what you're thinking, because that's definitely what it resembles. It definitely seems like a soft reboot where it's not like, oh, we're undoing everything, but it definitely seems like they're picking a point in time in the MK timeline and they're like, this right here is what we're doing.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, is finding out what story they're going to focus on. Brad, what are you excited about?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, side note here, this is actually exciting. I meant to mention this in the intro, but this is actually the first video that we've all been involved in, even though we're not in the same studio, since our freaking Arrowverse watch list crossover thing, so that's exciting.
Back in August.
Of 1995.
No.
1995.
I wasn't alive yet.
Meant to say that, but well, speaking of like sequels and how you said universe or whatever word you used, it very possibly, we don't know that it's ever going to get a sequel or anything like that, or it's ever going to become its own movie universe, but it's very possible. And judging by the just by the trailers alone, how tying into both of your points, how well done it looks and how much of a budget they have, special effects, the choreography, the story, just how actually really good it looks, because video game movies get a bad rap, and this movie could possibly redefine the genre of video game based movies and really set up, well, I don't want to say a world, but just the possibility that going forward, video game movies could actually be good and more successful. So I don't know. I have high hopes for this movie, and it actually looks really good, and I'm excited to see it. So that's what I'm excited about.
You're completely right. Video game movies have gotten a bad rap for a long time.
You guys remember the Tomb Raider movies?
I do. Not for the right reasons. Video game movies have always been, I don't know, pushed aside. Like, oh, that's a video game movie. Like, ew, Max Payne the movie, or ew, Hitman the movie, or the Assassin's Creed movie.
Oh my God, what a dumpster fire.
Okay, I like the Super Mario movie, but okay. Just a little. I mean, I don't love it. I'm not gonna defend it or anything. I know it's campy as shit, but I kind of liked it.
That movie is rant worthy.
It's not the worst ever, but there have been some ones that are definitely not good. And it's interesting to think that this could be the beginning of making better movies, or at least changing people's opinions on video game movies, to at least give them a fair shake.
And I feel like Mortal Kombat is a good game to do that with, because Mortal Kombat is very marketable, very well known.
Yeah.
Remember the Street Fighter movie? Remember the Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yes. Oh my god.
Awful.
Yeah.
I think that I literally forced myself to forget about that because it was so bad, because I forgot it existed until right now.
It's just buttholes.
PTSD caused me to want to forget that movie.
And while we're on the subject of bad movies, and we did talk about Mortal Kombat 1, or the original Mortal Kombat movie that came out in 1995, it's a bad movie. Like, I enjoyed it as a kid, but when I rewatched it a little bit later in life, it's just terrible. And the second one is even worse. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is even worse than the first one. Not only was it plagued by recasting issues, but also it just didn't really improve anything that the first one failed at. So it is interesting to see the franchise get a facelift, get rebooted. Right. And hopefully, like Brad said, it will lead to better video game movies and a better opinion towards video game movies.
So, I mean, yeah, look at the world we live in right now, 2021. Back in the 90s and 2000s, nobody wanted to watch superhero movies because they were campy, cheesy, and not that great. And comic books weren't popular at that point, really, depending on what you're looking at. But now, I mean, you got the MCU, you got the DC universe, you got all these tie-in shows, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, all that stuff. So, I mean, that's kind of my hopes for the genre of video game movies. So basically, all in all, that's what I'm most excited about, along with the other points we've made earlier in the video. Yeah, like we said, it's dropping Friday, April 23rd, so on HBO Max and possibly in movie theaters. So support your movie theaters. You know, go out there, keep movie theaters live, because it's the best thing ever. So, any final thoughts from you guys over the movie?
Not related to the excitement of the movie, kind of related to the excitement of the movie, maybe related to the excitement of the movie. I learned a thing today. Showtime, as our aforementioned Mortal Kombat guru, alerted me that Noob Saibot is Bihan, I think it's Bihan, the original Sub-Zero, who was killed by Scorpion in the Netherrealm, is Noob Saibot. That is Sub-Zero resurrected by the sorcerer, Quan Chi. I had no clue. The only reason we got onto the topic is because I looked at casting and seen that the same guy plays Sub-Zero and Noob Saibot. So spoiler alert, Sub-Zero dies.
And comes back, likely.
So,
yeah,
yep.
I learned that today too. So yeah, I thought it was just a dude. Possible spoiler from so.
But anyways, that's all I had. Those are all my thoughts. I've run out of brainwaves for the day.
So my thoughts are that Brad has a fantastic point, that the time we live in right now is really going to decide whether or not movie theaters continue to be a thing. So we need to go out and support movie theaters, because right now companies like Disney, with their premium access to movies that they're releasing, is not good for movie theaters. It's going to show them that people are willing to pay an extra $30 per household to watch it at home, like that, because he's just Mr. Moneybags, and I bet he's going to pay for premium access to watch.
And going outside scares me. I will shamelessly pay $30, $50, $120 to watch Black Widow and not have to leave my house, because people scare me.
But at the same time, I feel like you will also go to theaters and watch it twice after you pay for it to watch it at home once.
Also likely. I have no concept for the idea of money.
I believe right here, right now, he's going to do that. At least twice. Because I probably will too.
Nobody that I know has seen, what was it, Endgame you went to see 5 times? 7 times.
7 times.
I went to see it once.
I've seen it like 3 times, I think.
Once was enough for me.
7 times with 4 different groups of people, twice by myself.
So the point there is and you enjoyed those experiences, right? All 7 of those times.
Every single time, my nipples got just as hard as the last.
Good. You don't want to take that experience away from the future generations who are not going to be able to experience movie theaters. It's like they're saving a buck by putting it on their streaming service and putting it behind a bigger paywall than just the subscription. And it's teaching them that they're willing to pay for it because people are stupid. But at the end of the day, it's going to kill the movie industry.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a problem. And like, my kids might not grow up being able to go to movie theaters. Kind of like the way that I didn't grow up going to the drive-in like my parents did. Like my grandparents did. They went to the drive-in. Like, we still have a drive-in here, like nearby. But, and it's pretty popular. But it's not like everybody's going there like, yeah, let's go to the drive-in on Friday. Like, no. Like, sometimes people go like once a year and they're like, okay, well, that's enough of that. I've had enough mosquitoes. And like, movie theaters are going to go the same way that drive-ins are going if we don't fight this while it's a battle. So, all that being said, I think that what we need to do right now is just to focus on keeping the movie industry alive and increasing the value of video game movies as a whole. The whole industry as a whole, as Brad would say.
As I would say.
All that being said, back to you, Brad.
Well, I think that about covers it. I mean, the biggest point is collectively, all 3 of us are excited about this movie. No matter how you see it, it's going to be a great movie from what we're seeing, and I'm excited for it. They're excited for it. I think everybody should be excited for it. So, get hyped with us. That's the point of this video. So,
is this the part where I throw my chair?
Don't throw your chair.
Not yet. Not yet. That comes later. You're down there. Anyways, that's about all we had for this week's video. Do the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe. We're growing in subscribers and views and likes and all that stuff. So keep that up. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. All that stuff helps us tremendously. And we appreciate every one of you that watch our videos. So as usual, be sure you check back here on TSAN Tuesday. Stay tuned, and as always, stay dedicated.